Is it worth it? Number 78. Welcome back. Today, we'll be looking at the Gospel of Matthew to see what Jesus says about the value of pursuing the kingdom of God. So let's dive in. Matthew 13 verses 44 to 46. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and in his joy he went and sold all he had and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls. When he found one very precious pearl, he went away and sold all he had and bought it. My thoughts. Do we really believe that the kingdom of God is so valuable that we would trade everything we own to possess it? I have to be honest, I don't think I'm quite there yet. I want to be, but I'm not. And it's not just about selling everything you have. It's about trading every thought, every relationship, every motive, and dare I say, every breath for the rule and reign of God in our lives. Yeah, I'm not there yet. But I don't think any of us are. We want to be, but we are a work in progress on this side of heaven and will keep pressing toward that reality. But isn't that the point Jesus is making? The kingdom is so valuable it's worth striving toward the goal of surrendering everything for it. And so I see it as a continuous process rather than an arrived-at destination, at least in this life. Pursuing the kingdom is very much like the kingdom itself. There are parts of the kingdom we already realize. There are parts in which we are growing. And there are elements of the kingdom we won't completely see and understand until it comes into its fullness at the end of the age. For now, as disciples and disciple makers, we are in the hunt, so to speak. We are looking for and striving to realize the true value and the implications of being completely surrendered and enthralled with the kingdom of God. In the meantime, we take Jesus at his word and believe the kingdom of God is so valuable that we will spend the rest of our lives pursuing it. My story. I was reading Acts 1 and grappling with the fact that Jesus taught the disciples about the kingdom of God for 40 days after his resurrection. That means that the kingdom was Jesus' primary curriculum for 3 years and 40 days. It was his main topic of discussion through his ministry. Now you would expect with that amount of time under the greatest teacher to ever live that his students would have caught on. But their question in verse 6 reveals their absolute cluelessness. Lord, is it at this time you are restoring the kingdom to Israel? Acts 1 verse 6. They were still thinking ethnocentric. They hadn't picked up on the scope of the kingdom being much broader than a people group or a territory. They had missed the grandeur and majesty of the king's plan to bring everyone and everything under his benevolent rule. But you know what? I've been studying the Bible for over 40 years and I can't say I'm any more illuminated than the small group of disciples seeing Jesus off to the right hand of the Father. Actually, I'm more than a little embarrassed to admit it too. So I decided to spend the next 18 months studying the kingdom of God in earnest. I will be recording my findings here on my blog and hopefully I will get to take you on this journey with me. Our action plan. Now it's time for application. Here's some ideas. Take one example of the kingdom of God and do a Bible study with those you are discipling, e.g. Who's in and out? What does the kingdom look like? What does it mean to inherit the kingdom? Develop a gospel presentation that mirrors Jesus' gospel of the kingdom. Join me and others once a month to study the kingdom. The kingdom of God was one of Jesus' most preached topics. He told us to pray daily for the kingdom to come. It would do us well to understand and pursue with all our might one of his most highly prized realities,